quiet American neighborhood buzzed with excitement as a beautiful backyard wedding was being prepared. Michael and Emily were getting married, and both families had come together to decorate the garden behind the house. Soft lights were wrapped around the trees, white chairs were arranged neatly, and gentle music played in the background. Everything looked peaceful, warm, and filled with love. Michael greeted each guest with a warm smile while Emily got ready inside with her friends. But across the street lived a neighbor named Mrs. Wilson. She was always suspicious, always complaining, always irritated by anything that brought others joy. She didn't like noise, children laughing, cars parking near her driveway, and she especially didn't like people she didn't approve of. She watched the wedding preparations from her window every day, taking pictures, muttering to herself, imagining problems where none existed. As the days passed, her bitterness kept growing. The decorations annoyed her. The music annoyed her. The excitement annoyed her. But nothing bothered her more than the fact that the groom, Michael, was a black man whom everyone seemed to love and respect. In her mind, something had to be wrong with him. She convinced herself she was protecting the neighborhood. The morning of the wedding was beautiful. Emily's friends helped her with her dress and makeup while Michael hugged his mother Linda tightly. She had tears in her eyes and whispered, "I'm proud of you." Michael smiled, nervous yet excited. Guests started arriving. Children ran around laughing. Photographers captured every joyful moment. Food trucks lined the driveway. Fairy lights glowed even in the daylight, and soft jazz played through the speakers. Michael crouched down and handed a little boy the ring box, telling him to hold it carefully. The boy giggled and ran off. From across the street, Mrs. Wilson watched with widening eyes. To anyone else, it was a harmless, sweet moment. To her twisted imagination, it was something strange and suspicious. Her face grew tense. Her breathing got heavier. She grabbed her phone. Without thinking twice, she dialed 911. "There's a strange man here," she whispered urgently. "He's acting aggressively. I think he's dangerous. Please send someone quickly." She hung up the call with a deep breath, as if she had just saved the world from disaster. For the first time all day, she felt important. Meanwhile, the wedding had officially begun. Guests stood up as Emily walked down the aisle, holding her father's hand. Michael's eyes filled with emotion when he saw her. Everything felt dreamlike, gentle, warm, perfect. But just moments before they could exchange vows, the atmosphere shattered. From a distance, police sirens screamed louder and louder. 3 police cars rushed toward the house, tires screeching. Guests gasped in fear. Children clung to their parents and started crying. The music stopped instantly. Officers jumped out with tense faces, hands on their weapons. "You, hands up now!" Michael froze. His heart pounded. He slowly lifted both hands in the air. Emily screamed, running toward him, but her friends held her back. "Please stop," she cried. "He hasn't done anything." The officers ignored the pleas. The guests stayed rooted in fear, unsure of what was happening or why. Emily covered her mouth, trembling. Mrs. Wilson walked toward the fence with her arms crossed, wearing a smug expression. This was exactly what she wanted. This was her moment. Officer Daniels kept his weapon drawn, eyes locked on Michael. But the second officer, Officer Gray, looked around at the decorations. The wedding setup, the crying guests, the terrified bride. Nothing made sense to him. He leaned closer to his partner and whispered, "Something feels wrong. This doesn't look like a disturbance. It looks like a wedding." Daniels answered coldly, "We respond to the call we get." Gray kept observing. His eyes returned to Michael. Something about him seemed familiar. He studied Michael's face carefully. Recognition suddenly hit him. He took a breath. "Sir, are you Michael Harris?" Michael didn't move. He slowly nodded. Guests began whispering among themselves. Daniels lowered his weapon slightly. Gray stepped closer, stunned. "You're the same Michael Harris who created that community safety program, aren't you?" Emily cried out, "Yes! He's the most gentle man you will ever meet." Michael's mother, Linda, stepped forward. "My son saved 3 children from a burning car last year." One of the neighbors added, "He built a shelter for homeless veterans." Another guest said, "He buys school supplies for kids every single month." A third guest added, "He volunteers at the community center every weekend." Officer Gray was speechless. Daniel slowly holstered his gun. Mrs. Wilson's face turned pale as snow. The confidence she had earlier vanished instantly. Her lips trembled. She tried stepping back quietly, but everyone had already seen her. Gray asked softly. Sir, are you also the Michael Harris running for mayor next month? Michael hesitated. He hadn't planned to reveal it today, but given everything that had happened, honesty was the only option left. Yes, he said. I haven't announced it publicly yet, but yes, I'm running for mayor. A silence rolled across the entire wedding. Shocked faces, wide eyes, deep breaths. Mrs. Wilson staggered back a step. Mayor? He's going to be a mayor? Her voice cracked, her knees weak. Officer Daniels walked toward her. You didn't mention any of that in the call? She stuttered. I didn't know. I thought he looked like... Gray cut her off sharply. You made a false emergency call. You put innocent people in danger. Your assumptions could have led to someone getting hurt. Everyone stared at her. She looked down at her feet, humiliated, exposed. Her racism had been dragged into the sunlight for everyone to see. The officers escorted her away for questioning. She kept mumbling excuses, none of which made sense anymore. The moment she was gone, the atmosphere slowly softened. Guests exhaled deeply. Children wiped their tears. Emily rushed to Michael and hugged him tightly. The officiator cleared his throat with a soft smile and said, Well, where were we? The guests laughed gently, tension melting away. Michael looked into Emily's eyes. Nothing is going to ruin our day. She nodded with a teary smile. Not today, not ever. They turned toward the officiator again. After everything they had just survived, the vows meant even more. With steady voices and full hearts they said, I do. The crowd erupted in applause. Music started again. The sun dipped behind the trees, painting the sky gold. Michael and Emily kissed as everyone celebrated around them. The camera in your viewer's mind slowly moves up, showing the peaceful neighborhood shining under the warm sunset. The laughter returns. The love returns. The safety returns. And what remains in the air is a powerful truth. When hate tries to break something apart, love always finds a way to put it back together.